In May of this year, researching about my topic, I stumbled upon a quote from Benjamin Franklin that's had me thinking ever since. Now, he's known for many famous quotes, but this one in particular really hit home to me. To the point where I had to stop what I was doing at the time and actually think about the meaning of it. I ask that you do the same as I share this with you, and not allow its simplicity to confuse you. He states, if everyone is thinking alike, then no one is thinking. And the truth of the matter is, he's right. It's not feasible for everyone around you to have the same opinion on a topic as you do. It's why we have political parties, why people vote on who should be president, and why the ongoing debate between apples and oranges still exists today. But to be fair, guys, one is obviously better than the other. All jokes aside, everyone has their own opinion of things based on their environment, beliefs, and how they grew up. Well, that is unless you add a massive group of people all in one place. Well, then it becomes herd mentality. So today, let's first examine the history and data around herd mentality. Then jump into the sea of pros and cons when using this type of system. For finally, shifting through the confusion to learn the massive importance of individualism. The study of how groups influence individual people is one that stems from social psychology, which is defined by Maryville University today as being the study of how an individual group or group behavior is influenced by the present behavior of others. But interestingly enough, individual behaviors can be swayed by groups, making us to believe that their way is the right way to do things. In his best-selling book, Influence, a book about the psychology of persuasion, psychologist Robert Cataline writes, whether the question is what to do with an empty box of popcorn in a movie theater, how fast to drive on a certain stretch of the highway, or how to eat a chicken at a dinner party, the actions of those around us will be important in finding the answer. This phenomenon is called social proof and is most commonly found today in marketing. In fact, according to research done by Insider Intelligence, they found through a survey conducted by Expo that consumer reviews are nearly 12 times more trusted than the descriptions from the manufacturers these days. Now, I know some of you are rolling your eyes saying, herd mentality, please. I always do my own thing. In fact, I never follow the crowd. So to those people who are listening, I just want to let you know, we can both stop lying to ourselves. Because studies show it takes a measly 5% of individuals to influence 95% of groups. And this statistic isn't just found within mass times of crisis, but more commonly seen in everyday decisions, ranging from choosing what stocks to invest in, who to vote for, and things as simple as finding somewhere to eat. Like-minded thinking has become more apparent in our day-to-day lives, and whether you're conscious of it or not, it affects how we make our decisions. But on the flip side, none of this is new information. As a matter of fact, Gustave Le Bon, a well-known French psychologist in the 1890s, is famous for his publication of The Crowd, a book about the psychology, history, and science behind like-minded thinking. And in this book, he goes on to reference his theory on how collective thinking is formed. Britannica.com states that he argued that the conscious personality of an individual in a crowd is submerged, and that the collective crowd mind dominates the environment, essentially stating that when mass amounts of people are grouped together to make decisions, we're less inclined to follow our own interests in favor of the people around us. And I know full well this theory is true, because I've been a victim of its effects. When I was in middle school, all my friends were in athletics. So not wanting to be the outsider, 7th grade I joined my Coppell Middle School North track team. While there, I came across this event called the 110-meter hurdles. and quickly learned after tryouts, I was the best one there. Now, even though I had no passion to pursue athletics as a career, or even outside of school for that matter, I stayed in the class because of the sense of community I got from being there. In March of this year, the Journal of Education, Humanities, and Social Science discovered that during this period of adolescent life, where socialization and development are at their peak, individuals rely on the presence of peers as a critical component of adolescent relationships. The reason why I'm telling you this is because I wasn't jumping over hurdles due to my love for the sport. Rather, I continued to be in that class because of the sense of community I got from being there. But sadly enough, 2 years later, I left track due to its actual conflict with my passion, theater. But over the course of that year, all my friends reminisced about how much they missed me and wanted me to go back. So, not wanting to miss hanging out with them again, I decided to stick my neck out and go back into hurdles. This time, though, I wasn't as lucky to leave the year unscathed, because over the course of that season, I managed to damage my back and obtain a stress fracture within it, forcing me to not only be out all of off-season this year, but also have to wear an armor-like brace for 2 months straight. And think, all of this happened because I was trying to fit in with my friends. The best thing about following people is that you never really feel alone. But the downside to that is when you are alone, you tend to feel empty. When following friends, family, loved ones, or even total strangers, there's always a sacrifice made with your time. The challenge is finding what's worth your attention. Webster's dictionary describes individualism as a doctrine that the interests of an individual are or ought to be ethically paramount, meaning that your needs should come before anyone else's. Now, I don't say this to sound selfish. Quite the opposite, actually. I say this to further emphasize that self-care is very important to our lives. American writer Audre Lorde said it best. Self-care is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation. It is the reason why flight attendants say in an emergency situation for you to put your mask on first, for helping anyone else. Not because they don't want you to help other people, but because you can only really help others when your health is taken care of first. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it is important to be of good service to your community, but it shouldn't come at the cost of hurting your own health. But sadly enough, a research survey last year done on 1,000 US Americans found that about half of all Americans say they would self-identify as people pleasers, including 14% who say they definitely would. Helping others should feel rewarding rather than taxing. If it isn't, then you're doing too much for others and neglecting yourself. So when you make an important decision in your life, always remember, don't confuse honoring the opinions of others over honoring yourself. Because when you continue to enjoy your own company, love yourself, and follow your own passions, the more opportunities, experiences, and people will begin to be attracted to your life. Benjamin Franklin told us it is not possible for everyone to be thinking alike. But the world-renowned chemist Albert Einstein explains why it's vital that we're wired this way, and is what I will leave you with today. He elegantly says, those who follow the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. Those who walk alone are likely to find themselves in places no one has ever been before. Thank you for your time.